Jennifer Runyon at Intersolar North America in San Francisco, California. And I'm sitting here now with Raghu Belur with Enphase. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me at the show.
Great. So we're going to talk a little bit about the California market because I'm really curious to hear if Raghu thinks that we will meet the RPS in California, very aggressive goal here for renewables.
That's a good question. There are many variables that play into whether you're going to meet the RPS standards or not, and it's difficult for me to comment on that. But what I can say is we are still the #1 solar market in the U.S. So directionally, I think we are, we are correct, and I think we are doing our part in trying to, meet the RPS standards. Whether we'll achieve it or not, it's still tough for me to say.
Yeah.
We're doing our part.
Right. I mean, the state of California is struggling financially, as are many other states, and there needs to be some more infrastructure built to, to meet those goals. Do you see that as a challenge?
There's an interesting thought there is, when it comes to, my opinion, when it comes to incentive programs and feed-in tariffs, etc., I think they're a good catalyst for the solar industry, right? We wouldn't be here without those incentive programs, may it be the CSI rebate program that California has, or feed-in tariffs across the world. But one thing that I believe is there shouldn't be a crutch. We need to wean ourselves off of it as much as possible. I think the end consumer is becoming very savvy, and they're becoming very quantitative in their decision when they buy solar. And so as the system prices are continuing to come down, the feed-in tariff incentives are also coming down, and I think that's okay, because at the end of the day, it's an IRR decision, and I think that's being still maintained, and it's still very profitable to be installing solar on your own roof. So I think, again, when you mentioned states and the financial challenges that states face, I think from that standpoint, I'm not sure it's got a very significant impact on solar. I think just the fact that the system prices are starting to come down means that even with the rebates coming down and not getting all the financial support from the states, it's going to be okay, and I think in the long run it's good for our industry.
Right. The industry has been talking about getting off of incentives for a number of years, and we're finally actually seeing that happen.
Yes, and I think what happens, one of the, you see this a lot in Europe when feed-in tariffs change, and creates a lot of uncertainty and turmoil in the marketplace, and that's just not very healthy for the industry. It's not healthy for the companies that are trying to serve that market. We want I'll take predictability over wild swings.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, talk about unpredictability. I mean, the solar module market, at least, is incredibly shifty right now, and all kinds of things are happening. Companies are going bankrupt. How is Enphase staying afloat in all this, or how is that affecting Enphase?
I think one is we're not in the module space. The inverter segment and the dynamics that drive the inverter segment is quite different. I think we're still a young company, and people are just continue to recognize the value that Enphase brings to the marketplace in terms of just a better LCOE, grid energy harvest, grid reliability, much simpler to install, the fire safety aspects of it. So I think the value proposition is still driving all the benefits, all the benefits that Enphase brings to the picture. And so from that standpoint, I think, like I said, again, the dynamics are very different that you see from module versus inverter companies. And inverters are becoming smarter, right? We are bringing more value into the whole value chain there. Inverters are expected to do more and more now. And I think that's just driving more intelligence and more value into that product.
Yeah. How are they getting smarter?
Again, you're seeing more in Europe than in the U.S. The need for what we call as advanced grid functions, things such as ramp rate control, low voltage fault right through, etc. And so the expectation now is, as more and more PV gets installed, as the density of PV continues to increase, the utilities are recognizing that there's this intelligent device that's sitting out there, and they can provide functionality in order to further stabilize the grid. And so they're asking for that now from inverters to provide
Right.
that functionality. So inverters now are becoming much more intelligent, and it's really a good thing for Enphase, because by definition, kind of we brought in, if you may, a greater degree of intelligence and distributed intelligence into the solar system, and with all the software and the communications, et cetera, that we have, the infrastructure that we have built out, it lends itself very well to the changes that are coming.
Right. Well, great. Well, thanks so much for coming out to talk to us.
Absolutely.